Hello guys, so I have arrived to my grandmother's place and I have found her in the kitchen cooking some chapatis. Here she is. Congrats mom. Congrats mom, say hello.
Are you seeing me or there's no light?
There's no light.
You have to be there. What's your name of your channel?
Leah Lifestyle.
Leah Lifestyle's channel. Give her support. I'm cooking chapati. Thank you.
That mom does not have water in her place, so I have to take a bucket and go fetch water for her. Inside here is where they sleep, even they have not done cleaning, but I'll do some cleaning to this place.
Sometimes we say it is not how you start, but it is how you finish. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Maxwell Lumumba Africa. For those who are coming across this YouTube channel for the first time, I do reaction videos, especially to the videos that are posted in public domain. Like today, I'll be talking about what really happened between Con Mom and Leah. The cold reception has left people talking. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are not subscribed to this amazing YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, and share this video to other individuals. Remember to turn on the notification bell so that any day, anytime I post any video, you people get notified. Watch my videos from the beginning up to the end without skipping those ads that you see there. Let us show love to this YouTube channel. Let us like all my videos. And today we have to talk about a situation that has caused a lot of discussion in the comments. And honestly, after going through these reactions, there is one question that keeps on coming back. What exactly happened when Leah went to see her grandmother, that is Con Mom? Because from what viewers say and from what I saw in the footage, this was supposed to be a moment of family connection. A granddaughter comes home. She's so much excited. She has started her own YouTube journey. She has traveled all the way from where she was to the village just to meet the grandmother, to have moment with grandmother. She is apparently hoping to connect with her family, possibly receive some encouragement, maybe some advice, some encouragement, and maybe even just hear the words, "Congratulations, my granddaughter." But according to what we see in that video, the atmosphere was completely different. People are saying there was no warm welcome. What we see, there is nothing like that. And from the conversation they were having, it was much uncomfortable. And that really describes how Con Mom's attitude as giving Leah the cold shoulder. Now, before we go any further, let me make something very clear. I am reacting to what has been publicly uploaded, and I'm also reacting to what I see personally, and that has even left people talking. I'm not inside that family. I don't know what conversations happened off camera. I don't know what happened before the camera started rolling, and I don't want to present speculations as fact, but when thousands of people watch something in that video and come away with the same question, it becomes worth discussing. I personally, I watched that video from the beginning up to the end. How the lady, how the granddaughter came in, greeted "Congrats, Mom." She went ahead, and this now tells her that anybody who comes to that family, they are now taken as housemaid. Look at what happened after that cold reception. She went ahead and started fetching water from a well, not even within the compound, from outside the compound. She goes ahead and do actually some cleaning in the animal stable. That tells us something. When you come from where you are coming from, then you come to that family. Instead of you being welcomed as a visitor, you are being welcomed as a housemaid. So today, we are going to break the entire situation down. Why did we feel that Leah wasn't welcomed to the extent that we perceived she was to be welcomed? Why were people expecting Conmam to congratulate her? Why are some viewers talking about favoritism? And why are some people now questioning whether there is much deeply family issue that publicly doesn't we know about? Let us get into the whole conversation. Let me start with the simplest part. Imagine your granddaughter coming to visit you. She has started something new, something that can really help her in her life. She has decided to start creating content. She's trying to build something for herself, regardless of whether your personality like YouTube or not. Regardless, you are a content creator or a YouTuber. One of the easiest things a grandmother can say is, congratulations, my granddaughter. That's it. You don't have to promote her. You don't have to subscribe to her channel. You don't have to give her money. You don't even have to agree with everything she does. But some encouragement cost really nothing. And that is why one of the comments really stood out. A viewer basically said they expected Conmam to pray for Leah immediately. Another person said they couldn't understand why she couldn't even congratulate her. And that is where this story becomes so interesting, because the audience wasn't necessarily demanding financial support. They were looking for emotional support. There is a huge difference. If Leah came there expecting her grandmother to finance her entire YouTube career, or she came there to receive a shout out from the grandmother because she's a YouTuber, that's one conversation. But if she simply wanted her grandmother to say, I'm proud of you, keep going, that's another. And according to the viewers, that emotional connection appears to be missing. And let us look at the body language and the atmosphere. We have already seen, and people have witnessed and described the atmosphere to be uncomfortable. One person said there wasn't even a proper welcome at first. Another one said conversation felt shady. Another one said Leah didn't appear to be receiving a warmth they expected. Now, body language can be interpreted differently. We have to be very careful with that. We have to be very careful with what we say. Sometimes someone being quiet does not automatically mean they hate you. Someone looking uncomfortable does not automatically mean they are hiding something. Someone not smiling does not automatically mean they are angry. But when you combine those observations with the actual conversation and the way people reacted to that video, you can understand why viewers started asking questions. Because sometimes if no one is not one single thing, it is the whole atmosphere. The tone itself tells us a lot of things. The facial expressions, the word that was said and the words that were not said, and sometimes even silence really communicates something. That is what the audience believe to be happening. And you know, audience is very funny. You know, you cannot look the personality of an individual for the first time and you start judging. People already know how Congrats mom behaves. Yeah, we have seen Congrats mom becoming very jovial when they see Rocio, when they see Dimwango, when they see other people in the village. They feel much motivated. This tells us something that I'll be describing in this video there afterwards. Let me speak about, it is not how you start, it is not how you finish. And that is what I started by saying when I was starting this discussion. It is not how you start, it is not how you finish. And honestly, that statement can be interpreted in many ways. Maybe this says that Leah should not allow one uncomfortable family interaction to discourage her. Maybe there is saying her current situation does not determine her future. Or maybe there is simply telling us that the success will ultimately speak for itself. And that is actually an important lesson for anybody building a YouTube channel, because when you start creating content, not everybody will support you. Sometimes the people you expect to support you the most may be the person who don't or who will not support you. And sometimes strangers on the internet can encourage you more than people who know you personally, who encourage you more than people who think they belong to your family member. That can hurt, but it can also motivate you, because eventually your results becomes your answer. You don't have to argue with everybody. You don't have to convince everybody. Sometimes you just keep on working and your work will be presenting yourself. Somebody has been calling me 3 times, but I'll be talking to the individual. And this brings out the issue about the favoritism question. Now let us go to the controversial part. A lot of people have witnessed and are accusing con mom of treating different grandchildren differently. People, and what we can see specifically, we can talk about the black grandchildren. This person is very consistent, yeah? He's very consistent, but maybe this is an emergency or something of sort. But let me finish this video, then I'll be ringing that person after this video, yeah? So I was saying this. When you look how Congrats mom actually, when she's with the black grandchildren versus the grandchildren perceives to be from maybe a pale person. And this is where I want to slow down, because this is a serious allegation. We cannot watch one interaction and definitely conclude that somebody is a colorist. That is too big for a conclusion to make from one video. But we can acknowledge that we are asking, why they perceive a difference in treatment. That's the question. Let us look when Maisha was in the villa. Maisha was being spoken or was being talked to very nicely. Why do we feel that certain grandchildren receive more warmth, affection, or attention? It is actually happening. It is misunderstanding. And what next happened? The same lady starts doing the house call as maid. Is there history between the family members that the audience they don't know, or is this simply one uncomfortable interaction being interpreted through everything that has happened before? Those are legitimate questions, but we shouldn't even turn questions into fact. And let me bring in another point, and this is another thing that we can see there about the claims about conman wanted the girl back from the coast, but after they returned, viewers felt that she was cold toward them. And again, that's what the viewers interpreted. And let me say this as a matter of fact. The reason why Congress wanted these ladies to come back to the village is just to make them housemates. But let us examine the question. If someone wants you to come home, you naturally expect that person to be happy when you arrive. You expect a very big hug. You expect excitement. How was the journey? What have you been doing? How is your recently opened channel? How can I help you? That's normal family interaction. So if viewers watched the footage and didn't see that warmth, they naturally start asking why, and that is where speculations begin. Some people believe that there was so much tension surrounding the girl's decision to create content. Some believe that there may be a disagreement about what the girls are doing. Others believe there couldn't be family issue that the public knows nothing about. But again, we don't know. And that's why I think it is important not to manufacture an answer. Sometimes the biggest mistake reaction channel make is taking a gap of an information and filling it with an accusation. We should not do that. We can ask questions, we can analyze things, we can point out what is visible, but we should leave room for the truth to be different from the internet theory. And let me answer this. And this is the fascinating part. We can see, or the suggestion that Leah may have been or may have gone there hoping her grandmother and uncle will support her channel. Now, if that was indeed Leah's expectation, I can understand why the interaction might have been disappointing. Starting a YouTube channel is not that much easier. You have to put yourself out there. You have to deal with criticism. You have to learn some editing. You have to learn some thumbnail. You have to learn some titles. You have to learn or to deal with people laughing at you when you are still small. And when you're beginning, support from family can mean a lot. Even a simple keep going can give somebody the motivation to continue. But here's one side. Family members are not automatically obligated to support somebody you reacted or YouTube career. They have the right to have their own opinion. They might not understand the platform. They might not like cameras, but when you go for the same help from people who have been YouTubers, they might not want them to see you success. So those are two different sides. Leah deserves respect and encouragement, but the family also have the right of the boundary. I'm not trying to tell us that what Congress mom did was something good. The reason question is whether those boundaries were communicated respectful. Let me now bring in the reactors are now part of the story. And people, and one of the subscribers said, people should not hate reactors who come with the truth, because reactors talk what they see and hear the video. And I think that is a point in this conversation, because once you publish your life publicly, people are going to interpret it. That is what even I was telling us about Daisy yesterday. Daisy chose to be a content creator. He chose to post his life publicly. So that means reactors can pick that content and they can react. That is the reality of YouTube. We have the freedom of speech. We have the freedom of expression. If you post a family interaction online, people will talk about the family interaction. I know some lunatic and minions will be coming to my comment section. I'm waiting for you. If you post an argument, people will talk about the argument. If you post a celebration, people will talk about the celebration with you. If you are speaking something that looks very uncomfortable, people are going to ask questions. That does not mean every reaction is correct. It doesn't. Reactors can get things wrong. Sometimes viewers can get things right. The original creator can also be misunderstood, but criticism isn't automatically hatred, and disagreement isn't automatically bullying. There has been room for people to watch public content and say, I don't think that was right. And sometimes reactors should also be so much responsible. We should not accuse people of crimes or serious wrongdoings without evidence. We should not invest or invent conversations that were not shown on camera. We should not turn speculations into facts. That's where responsible commentary comes in. And people are terming corn mom to be praying woman, and there is a contradiction about that. That is a theme that has repeatedly appeared in the comment. Was corn mom religious image? People now basically ask, how can somebody who is known for praying behavior have this behavior this way towards a grandchild? And we keep on referring or seeing her praying for blessings for other in previous content, and this creates an interesting conversation about public image. Being religious does not mean someone will behave perfectly all the time. Being a prayerful person does not make someone immune from disagreement, frustration, or anger, or family conflict. And equally, one uncomfortable interaction does not mean someone's entire religious identity is fake. We have to be very careful with that. People are so much complicated. Someone can generously in one situation and difficult in another. Someone can be a prey for somebody and still have a disagreement with them. Someone can love you and still disappointed with you. If so, I wouldn't sit here and declare that con man, but let me just declare it because this is the reality. Yeah, we have seen it on camera. Con man, con mom, yeah, she is hypocrite, and that is simple because I don't like what I saw, and I don't understand why people are asking questions. Let me tell us about the cold soldier. Let me go back to the phrase that I keep on telling people. The cold reception, and viewers independently used similar language. Yeah? The fed Leah was treated coldly, and that matters because when multiple people notice the same thing, it tells you that the interaction had a particular effect on the audience. But here's the key: people perception. It is the necessarily of the reality. We know what happened when somebody is being filmed. Maybe con mom actually, maybe for her, she thought that Leah won't be uploading the video. She thought that Leah could be trimming out that part. Maybe there was a disagreement. Maybe Conman was tired. Maybe there was misunderstanding, but that does not simply mean that this has not to be said. It is much deeper in the family history. A lot of people have been saying that Con mom is very much hypocritical, yeah, and that's a reality, and that is exactly what we can see. Something clear has left us uncomfortable to us, but the reason to this discomfort remains unclear. And let me just tell us the most dangerous part. When you go to the comments, some people are suggesting that Con mom may be afraid of something being exposed. Others are suggesting that she might be trying to control the family narrative. Some people are even saying that there is hidden thing happening behind the scene. But guys, this is where we have to draw line. A comment section can become courtroom very quickly. Someone writes, something is going on. The next person say, I knew it. The other person says, she's hiding something. And suddenly, this becomes actually the start of speculation. And this can be accepted as fact. That is very dangerous. But what you see can mean what is being shown. So for me, this is where the story becomes bigger than Conman. It is about Leah. If you're young and trying to build something, don't let one person or one reaction determine your future. If your family supports you, appreciate them. If they don't, keep working. What I believe, not all family members are the same. If your grandmother congratulates you, appreciate it. If she doesn't, don't stop, or it doesn't let you, or it doesn't stop you, because YouTube is a long game. You can start with 10 subscribers, then 50, then 100, then thousands of subscribers. Then one day, people who ignore you at the beginning may suddenly realize that, wait, this person was actually serious. So Leah, if you're watching this, my message for you is very simple. Don't build your channel around proving your family wrong, but build it because you believe in yourself. That is the much motivation thing. And let me tell you, at the same time, if Con mom feels misunderstood, there is also an opportunity here. If there is family issues, talk about them privately. Nobody wants you to talk them about them in public. If you are uncomfortable with your grandchild becoming or having a camera, say it. If you don't want your home filmed, establish boundaries. If you are unhappy about your girl's decision, explain it. Communication can prevent thousands of people from creating theories about your family, because once people only see fragmented, they create their own story. And right now, that is exactly what appears to be happening. The internet has one version, the family has another version, and something very in the middle is probably a much more complicated reality. And let me say this, guys, after looking at all these, I want to know what you think. Was Leah genuinely given the cold soldier or soldier? Or did viewers interpret an ordinary family interaction too negatively? Do you think Con Mom should have congratulated Leah regardless of whenever or whatever disagreement might exist? Do you think there is favoritism within the family? Or are people simply talking about uncomfortable moment and building a much bigger story about it? And most importantly, should family disagreement be brought onto YouTube, or should certain things remain private? For me, the biggest lesson is this: when you put your life online, people are going to analyze everything. A smile becomes a statement, silence becomes a statement, a missing hug becomes a statement, a short conversation becomes a statement, and sometimes the audience sees things that creators never intended them to notice. But we also have to remember that we are seeing only a small part of somebody's life. So let us discuss it without making accusation we cannot prove. If you enjoyed this reaction, make sure that you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Was Con Mom justified? Was Leah treated unfairly? Or is the internet reading too much into the situation? I want to hear from you, your honest opinion. Until next time, stay safe, stay respectful, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now, till we see each other in the next episode. Goodbye.